This is Abe Freetanzer from Awards Watch, and I'm so thrilled to be speaking with Alexandra Daddario about The White Lotus. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We had the chance to speak a long time ago, it feels like, shortly after the show started airing.
Yes.
So it's great to be able to think about this show right now. Congratulations on your first Emmy nomination.
Thank you so much.
Obviously, this is a very popular show, and we all knew that it was well liked, but were you surprised by just how well it did overall with the Emmys?
I mean, I'm not surprised in the sense of like I think the show's amazing and I love everyone involved, but the whole thing just seems very surreal to me. So there's definitely an aspect of, oh, I can't believe this. But now that I've settled into it, I'm like, okay, great. We're gonna have a fun party on Emmys night.
And you're in an unusual situation where you have so many co-stars nominated in the same category.
Yes.
Is
It's
that
great
something
though.
it's exciting?
I love it. I love it. I got very close with my cast tonight. I'm so proud of everyone. So I think it's really cool. I think it's wonderful. I'm really just happy to be included, which, you hear all these people say cliche things like it's just an honor to be nominated and all that stuff. And now I understand why people say that, because it's like, it's genuinely very true.
Of course. And obviously, I think the person that you probably share the most scenes with who's nominated alongside you is Jennifer Coolidge, but you also have a pretty great moment with Connie Britton, which is a bit of an eye-opener for Rachel. What can you share about that scene?
That scene, I mean, Connie scared me in that scene, and she's incredible. And I think that the audience feeling so uncomfortable and like eek and sort of relating to it is, I think that we've all been in a situation like that before, where we just said completely the wrong thing and someone did not let us off the hook, and that feeling of like, oh my gosh, get me out of here. And it was just played beautifully by Connie. And I just put myself in, I've been in those situations before too. And Coolidge is obviously just completely hilarious and a unique talent. And I'm also, Jake Lacy, I thought he was such an incredible scene partner, and totally transformed into this character. And so I'm really proud of everyone and grateful to them, because it's their scene partner amazingness that helped me figure out my relationship with the world around me, and this sort of strange fishbowl I've been dropped in that I can't figure out how to navigate and get myself out of, and that isn't making me happy. And I'm trying so hard to make all these people happy and figure everything out, but everything is just a little warped and weird. And all the actors did an incredible job of making me feel that. And that's also Mike's writing.
I also really enjoyed seeing Molly Shannon show up, because I feel like, Jake, his character, Shane, has this really sort of aggressive, angry energy. And when Molly comes in, she's the same, but without that. She has this real positivity and bubbliness that you might not realize just how manipulative she is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and they're an amazing team. But yeah, it's, I don't think Rachel was any match for the two of them. At the dinner table, it's just so much of this. And they both really got that and did an incredible job. And again, it's just constantly feeling like I don't belong here. I don't know what to do. And also the hilariousness of being in that situation with these people, and that's where all the humor comes from. The situation that the characters are in and that I'm in, you want to cry and you want to burst out laughing while you're shooting these scenes, because it's both.
I'd love to talk a little bit about the ending of the first season, so I hope that everybody watching has seen it already. Were you happy with how Rachel's arc ended, or did you want a little bit more and more sort of individuality from her?
No, I thought it was perfect. I related to it. It never occurred to me for a second. I was actually surprised when people were saying that they thought that they were upset that she went back to him. I didn't really see any other option, but maybe that's because of my own choices and my own experience as a woman. And I think that it's so easy to convince yourself. Some people do this, and I know I have in the past, where you convince yourself you're wrong. You're wrong, and everything feels so confusing, and you sort of feel lost and confused. And I think Rachel feels very much that way. And when she says, I promise I'll be happy, she's not going to be happy, but she's making this promise to make other people happy. And there's really no ending to that ultimately, but sadness. You can't continue that forever. That drives you crazy. But I thought, I don't think she's ready to leave him, and I don't think she's ready to leave the situation. I think she's got other issues. And so that made total sense to me the whole time. But I understand why people wanted the, happy ending, but to see Rachel go off and make it on her own and leave him, but that just wasn't the story.
I think it's very easy to judge and look down on these characters. And I think a lot of people might have hoped that most of them would sort of get what they deserved in a way. But I think ultimately it's probably easier to relate to different aspects of these characters than people would like to admit.
Yes, for sure. I think that's part of it, was you don't like a lot of the personality traits and characteristics of these characters. You don't like a lot of them, but you relate to them at the same time, which is very disturbing. And also it's a commentary on society and the things that, sometimes it's not all, sometimes not the bad guy, because the people are, things aren't fairy tales, all the time. There's a journey. I like to think of my characters on a journey, and I think Rachel, she's still on her journey.
Do you think that people overall have a favorable opinion of her? Have you read mostly good reactions from people to her character?
I think people had favorable reactions to the show. I mean, people love the characters on the show, while I don't think that there's a single character that people are like, I hate them. Like, I think that the characters make decisions people didn't like, but they still liked them, which is why it probably, I'm assuming, drove them nuts, was because they really wanted to see things be different because they were relating to the characters, I would assume. And again, that's sort of the discomfort. That's one of the reasons I like being an actor. I enjoy the discomfort of finding the reasons why we do the things we do to each other, and the way the world is, and why we are the way we are, and all that stuff. And I enjoy getting into that sort of discomfort. I think it's fun.
When we last spoke, the show had yet to be renewed for a second season, which some people saw as a surprise. Is that something that you had expected or known about ahead of time?
I don't remember if I knew about it. I think it was renewed pretty quickly. I'm not in it, so I don't think I was that involved in it, but I don't think I was surprised at all. I mean, the show did very well for them. So, and Mike loves doing it, and I know they love Mike. So I'm excited to see the second season.
Well, from what you've been saying, it sounds like you probably wouldn't want to come back because you feel like Rachel has had this sort of closed loop and she's reached a good sort of ending point for her character.
Oh, I would always come back. I mean, Mike was one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. It's just a joy for an actor. I'm very grateful for my one season, but of course I would have come back for, I loved working with him. But I think he would have found he would find something interesting for Rachel to do.
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see what the second season will be like, because I remember your other project, other anthology series, Why Women Kill. Season 2 was definitely very, very different from season 1, and of course that has a sad ending, which is that season 3 was ordered and then just got taken back. So I don't know what happened there. I'm sad that show won't be continuing for another iteration.
I don't know. I don't know how people may. I just show up to work. I don't know what the business decisions. I'm glad I'm not on that side of things.
Well, does this kind of work make you want to be in a show where you can stick with the character for multiple seasons, or are you okay just sort of coming on board for whatever the arc might be?
Well, it looks like I'm doing that right now. The show I'm on right now, you know, that's definitely has the potential to go on. So I guess the answer is yes, I am willing to do that. Yes. I'm grateful to be working, and I love what I do. So yeah, I think it's if you find something you love and you find a character you love, or you find a network you like working for, or of course it's a joy to have that kind of steady work.
Can you share more about that project that you're working on now?
It's based on an Anne Rice novel for AMC, The Lives of the Mayfair Witches, and I play a witch. And it's very scary. And they have a series based on Interview with the Vampire coming out, and then this show will follow.
What is it like, sort of jumping between genres and just doing something so different?
It's so different. Yeah, it's great, and it's so different than White Lotus. And you know, in my time off, if something were to come up, I'd love to do something different. Again, actors say this kind of stuff all the time, and I totally understand it now that I'm at a place where I can sort of pick a little bit more what I want to do. It's very creatively fulfilling to just do completely different things. And I love it. And I love this genre, and I love diving into something based on a book. I love reading and interpreting like a character like that. It's a really interesting challenge.
In a project like that, do you feel like it's better that audiences read the book ahead of time so that they sort of have some idea of what to picture, then see it differently on TV?
I think it goes either way. I've done book adaptations where, you know, you have rabid fans who are like, that's not right, you know, the hair color's wrong, or that character this, and that's because they come from a place of passion and love for the story, which is wonderful. And then you have people who are like, oh, that looks interesting, I'll check it out. And then they have different kinds of opinions. So I don't think it matters either way. I just think it's great to have people who are involved and passionate about the story. I think as the actor, I always like to read the book and the script together. I think it gives it extra layers.
And at the Emmys, there's a lot of great competition. Other shows, some feel a little bit more like The White Lotus, like Inventing Anna and Pam and Tommy, while others are a bit more serious, like The Dropout and certainly Dopesick. Are there any of those shows that you watched over the past year that you really liked and are happy to be in the company of?
Oh, I'm a huge fan of a lot of the people. Not Julia Garner is incredible, Kaylin Dever, Amanda Seyfried. I was on a soap with her when we were like 16. Like it's crazy to be in my 30s, and we're all still doing it, and it's crazy to be it's just great to be at the party, and I'm really proud of everyone, and I'm a big fan of everyone's work.
Wonderful. Well, it's great to get a chance to talk to you again, and good luck with your upcoming series.
Thank you so much.